Hey everyone, so have you ever had one of those big brain eureka type of ideas? Well, recently I've been thinking about the U.A Traitor. Everybody's gotten their own take on the matter, but the more and more I've been thinking about it, I've been hesitant to throw my idea out there just in fear of being completely wrong. And the theories about who the traitor is just transcend the fandom at this point. As such, I've never wanted to throw my idea out there because this is one of those topics that's just pure speculation. All it takes is one chapter and everybody's wrong. So I'm gonna finally shoot my shot, and if you want to hear me expand more about my idea, remember there are absolutely gonna be spoilers ahead. Now let's head inside and grab a drink because I got a feeling by the end of this video we're all gonna need one. Welcome to the bar, folks. Alright, so before I get to it, let me lay down the groundwork for my idea first. Because essentially, my big problem with the U.A Traitor storyline is that 1, Horikoshi has admitted that he's kind of forgotten about the storyline, and 2, if the traitor were to be revealed right now, it would have no repercussion to the current plot. And what I mean by that is if the traitor was revealed immediately after the fight between All Might and All For One, that's a completely different story. Stemming all the way back, the only reason why that fight went down is because information leaked about where the students were going to be during that forest training arc. So in order to make my theory, I had to take everything into consideration right from the very beginning. Because from the beginning of the story, people were kind of skeptical about Tokoyami and Shoji, mostly because the villains kidnapped him as well as Hawks taking him on as a sidekick. And we all know that when it comes to doing investigative undercover work, Hawks is usually the guy they go to. And you got my boy Mangavation who's out here saying that Kaminari is the U.A Traitor. You could check out that video in the card above. And most recently, people have been accusing Oyama of being the U.A Traitor because he's the only one in Class 1A that has a quirk that doesn't agree with his body. And look, every single one of those ideas, they're absolutely valid ideas. Hell, I even think that the invisible girl still might be the traitor because she's the perfect spy. I mean, she's invisible. So when formulating my idea about who the U.A Traitor possibly was, I had to take it from the point of view of what would the repercussions be if one of the heroes in Class 1A turned out to be All For One's deep cover traitor. Because when I thought about what might actually happen, and then on top of that, have the reveal of said traitor result in little to zero repercussions, I came to one solution. Deku is the U.A Traitor. Now wait. Before you throw your hands up and call bullshit, give me a second. Do me a solid and just subscribe to the channel because I know by the end of this video, you're gonna be like, what the hell did you just come up with, Dan? Cause look, I'm getting right to the point here. All For One is known to have created vestiges of himself inside the minds of those he hands off quirks to. In addition to that, we've seen in the case of Lady Nagant that he can turn someone else into a living bomb. While that bomb was just thrown in as a caveat, the reason why he knows Lady Nagant suffered defeat is because of the quirk Airwalk. He inadvertently creates vestiges of himself in those that he hands the quirks off to. This was actually just shown in My Hero Academia Vigilantes chapter 111 when the main antagonist of the series, Number 6, was given an option to pick any quirk that he desired. He chose to have the quirk of the supersonic hero, O'Clock. All For One then tells Number 6 to picture O'Clock in his mind as his mentor. All For One then hijacks that mental image projected by Number 6 and manages to turn his vestige into a vestige of O'Clock. And because of that, All For One is able to manipulate Number 6 from behind the scenes without truly even being there. And if I had to make an extremely overpowered guess, it would be that All For One can definitely take control of multiple people because he's handed out multiple different quirks. I mean, let's be real here, he pretty much Orochimaru'd Shigaraki. With that being said, my dude could probably defy death. Cause to be honest, we've already seen him take over bodies before, meaning it's only a matter of time before he makes the power move and tries to take over Shigaraki's body. Cause let's be real here, the sole reason why Shigaraki is even around is because Shigaraki has the opportunity to take One For All and succeed where his master didn't. The minute that possibly happens, his body is snatched. And not from the main host All For One, from the All For One that resides within his mind because he has the original copy of All For One, meaning Shigaraki has a vestige within him himself. So those three instances help me develop this idea that Deku is the U.A Traitor, Lady Nagant being blown up, Shigaraki being taken over, and Number 6's vestige. And the reason why I'm saying that Deku is possibly the U.A Traitor is because of this scene right here. When we see the vestiges gathered together in this area, there's a door. My guess is beyond that door is All For One. The vestiges are in constant battle, but the fact that they're in symbiosis with the user of One For All means that All For One can't possibly break in. The 8 other individuals that are beyond that door are the reason why All For One can't possibly break through. Now, honestly, I think that there are 10 individuals inside of Deku, with the last 2 vestiges being All For One and the original owner of the stockpiling quirk locked behind that door with All For One. And I'm saying 10 because I really would like to see who the original owner of Stockpile is, but I wouldn't be surprised if they say that there's only 9 vestiges within the singularity. Now, maybe you've kind of weeded out what I'm getting at here, but look, I'm saying that since the sports festival, All For One has known that Deku has been the successor to One For All. Besides the fact that we know everybody, including Shigaraki, watched the sports festival, my guess is if All For One was watching that particular festival and saw Deku on screen, there's no way that the ultimate evil doesn't put 2 and 2 together and realize that this kid's a little bit off. Because during the sports festival, the singularity bursted into existence, meaning if All For One was watching at that point in time and felt the singularity be born, All For One could have had a bird's eye view of everything going on. That's probably also why he agreed to let Shigaraki have those Nomu back in Hosu City. So my guess is that in the beginning, before the singularity was strong enough to keep out All For One, he was just getting a bird's eye view of everything going down in the beginning. That's why All For One claimed to know so much about Class 1A, and on top of that, know who the successor of One For All was. The user of All For One gets a sensation unlike any other when the user of One For All is around. Now, Ragdoll's quirk turned that sensation into a pinpointed location. So what I'm getting at is All For One has always known where Deku is and who he is because they're just connected through One For All and All For One. So I feel like with Deku becoming the U.A Traitor, it would be the best way to dispel the U.A Traitor theories permanently and have the reveal hold little to no repercussions within the current storyline. The Traitor plotline is a viewer-based narrative that's constantly being harped on, and to be honest, I don't know if the speculation lands on Horikoshi's timeline, but if I do recall correctly, there is an instance where Horikoshi admits that he kind of forgot about the plotline. Although I know that some people are looking forward to that big ol' betrayal, but with the most recent arc having the entire class spill their guts out to Deku about caring for him, I don't see the Traitor being amongst Class 1A. I feel like at this point, revealing Deku to be the U.A Traitor would be enough to try to get inside of his head, but at the same time, just put the narrative to rest. So my question to you all is, do you think that the U.A Traitor storyline is just a dead end and needs to be wrapped up? And if you do, explain down below why. When I came up with this idea, I had to take into consideration that the Traitor may never be addressed, because frankly, now that Shigaraki can find Deku pretty much anywhere, there's no reason for a traitor. So until next time, I am not the U.A Traitor. I'll catch y'all later. Cheers.